Hi, my name is Kim Gruey, and I will be your instructor for English 241 Survey of American Literature Part 1. This class covers pre-colonial times to 1865 in American literature. And I'll tell you, that time period, first of all, it's quite a long span, and secondly, it can be challenging because of the different the evolution of language. And so I've tried to provide you with lots of materials to help guide you and to help make the course a pleasant one for you. I wanted to briefly go through the way the class is organized and what some of my expectations are, and I wanted you to start to get to understand how I do things, and I also wanted you to know that I've got goals and expectations for myself as well in this class. So I'm going to briefly go through the way the class is organized. When you first pull up the class, you might notice that there are a lot of buttons on the left-hand side. Please don't let that intimidate you, because what I do is I try to break the course down into small bits, and that's why it looks like maybe there are a lot of more buttons than you're used to seeing. For example, in some online courses, your professor might have a tools button, and from the tools button you can find the send email link, or the course calendar link, or the my grades link. And what I do, since I don't use all of the tools, I don't have a tools button, and I have a send email button, and that's the only thing in the send email button, and I have a course calendar button, and I have a my grades button. So each of those buttons, for example, only have one function. So don't let the number of buttons intimidate you. The announcements place is the first place you come into the course. That's the entry point for this course and probably for almost all your other courses, whether online or not. And what I do each week is I try to post a weekly announcement that reviews what's due, maybe what we did last week and what's due this week, and things to look for. Because I will add feedback to discussion boards and to assignments in the form of a short video like this, and when I add those or update the course, I let you know that. So you always want to check into announcements on Monday morning, because that's when I update the course. I consider the week to be Monday to Sunday. So that's the way your syllabus is organized. That's the way the course is organized. You definitely want to check into the course at least once a week, but probably 2 or 3 times a week to be successful and to keep up with what's going on. Like I said, the weekly announcement will be there, but there may be other updates during the course of the week that you would want to know about. After the announcements, which is the entry point, we come to the syllabus button. And the syllabus does contain the syllabus, and it contains the orientation to the course. The orientation is a written version of what I'm talking to you about now. It's not a transcript of what I'm saying, but it's just a document that goes through some of these major areas just like I'm going through them now. The syllabus is actually a link to a Google Doc. And so the Google Doc can be updated so that, for example, if you find a typo or we decide to change a deadline a bit, then I'll probably go into the syllabus and change that as you request it. So if you're someone who likes to print your work out, that is completely fine. I won't make any major changes to the syllabus. They would only be small typos or things like that. If deadlines get changed, I'll definitely make an announcement several times. So you can still print out your work, but I do like to have that option to kind of change that as we go and to have that as a live link. After the syllabus, you come to course materials, and the course materials really has 3 things in it. One, a link to the videos. There are several short videos, about 20 minutes or so in nature, that I ask you to watch throughout the semester that supplements whatever it is we're reading. There are also a folder for the projects. There are 2 major projects that you do for the class, which comprise a good portion of your grade. That contains the assignments, some samples, the rubric, and that kind of thing. And then the other folder in there is the quizzes. And in this class I don't have tests, because tests can be quite intimidating. So we have quizzes. They are like big, fat, happy quizzes. And there are 3 of those, and there are study guides for those in the quizzes folder. After course materials, there are 3 buttons, and those 3 buttons cover the major movements that we look at, or the major units or the divisions that we study in the course. And so the first button is Pre-Colonial to 1750, which contains Native American creation tales, some of the journals of the explorers, and a lot of Puritan material. And then from there we move to 1830 to 1865, which we see a movement to a more rational kind of reaction to the Puritans. It's the Age of Enlightenment, which has a big influence. And then from there we go to 1830 to 1865, which is a time of great social reform in America. Workers' rights, women's rights, abolition. So those are the three areas. And so, you know, I just kind of broke them up, 3 different buttons. And when you go in, there will be folders, and in those folders, specific reading guides to each specific reading assignment. It's important that you use those reading guides because there is a lot of literature to read. And believe me, it could have been more. And there could have been novels, but where there are excerpts of novels, but they're not any whole novels. But it's helpful to have these guides because I tell you exactly what to look for to try to help you be focused on whatever it is I think is important that we're going to look at with that piece of literature. So check those out before you read and let them guide your reading. They're closely related as well to the discussion boards, so that we try to tie that all in together. After those buttons, you'll see a Submit Assignments button, and that's the place where you submit your work. The 2 projects and the 3 TWIZs. When it's time to take a TWIZ, that TWIZ will usually be open for a few days, maybe even up to a week, and you go in through Submit Assignments to find your TWIZ and to take it. After that, you'll see the discussion board, and that's the area that you'll go in and do the weekly discussions. There is a weekly discussion. You're either going to do that in a whole group or in a small group. And I'll explain to you a little bit later, because it's not until I think week 3 that you have your first small group discussion due. But you're either discussing with the whole class, or I put you in a group of 4 or 5 and you have a discussion. It's just that there's a little more pressure on you because there aren't as many people contributing. And the thing about discussion boards is I do grade them based on quality, not just on completion. And so you must look at those discussion boards, look at what your classmates post before you post, because if you repeat material, that makes it really boring. Your job is to try to move the conversation forward by either expanding on an idea brought up, asking questions, or bringing up a new idea. So you will access the discussions in the discussion board from the discussion board button. And after that are the 3 buttons I told you about, the Send Email, the Course Calendar, and the My Grades. The Course Calendar is also linked to the Google app, Google Calendar. So sometimes you need to log into your student email before you come into this Blackboard class and click that calendar. You might not be able to access it. Sometimes it can be just a little quirky. Sometimes you'll be asked to log in first if you click the button. But it's really helpful if you just click on your student email button before you come into Blackboard, then you can access the course calendar. Right now the course calendar contains the deadlines for the TWIZs, for the projects, and some of the other major dates like Thanksgiving holiday, Labor Day holiday, and also drop and withdraw dates, which I hope no one, has to do that, but it's nice to know what those important dates are. After the course calendar, as I said, you see My Grades, and I think it's real important for me to post grades in a timely manner. You'll see that my response time is about a week to a week and a half after something is due. With the discussion board, I wait until it comes down. And again, those discussion boards come up early Monday morning and they come down at 11:59 p.m. Sunday night. And I can be flexible on deadlines with some other things, but those are preset, and that's you can't come into those late. Once it's done, it's done. But I wait till it's done. I do pay attention to what you all are writing in there, but what I do is at the end of the week is I will go in and read all of those and take some notes and then do a video, something like this, in response to let you know what was really cool and maybe what was a little off and that kind of thing. So I provide feedback via a short video after the discussion board comes down. So don't think I'm not reading those, but I don't chime in until it closes down. And then finally, the last button is Resources and Help. And there are some links to some downloads and plugins that you might need in order to access the videos, for example, in this class. And there are some short tutorials about how to use Google Docs, how to submit assignments and things like that, how to check your grades and make sure you're seeing everything that I post in your grades. So that's a brief overview of the course. There's a lot more I could say, and I do like to talk, but I'm going to try to keep that reined in. And I'm going to ask that you spend this first week reviewing what's in the course. Most of the course is up. I will be adding some feedback videos, and if I find something as I'm doing some outside reading that's related, I might post that. But for the most part, the course is set up and ready to roll. Your discussion boards come up and come down sort of as if by magic because they're preset. And your first one will be introduction, and it will appear on Monday morning the 20th, first day of class, and it will come down the 26th at 11:59 p.m. So take this first week to look through the course, and if you have any questions, you can either post that to the Cyber Cafe, which is a form that will be up in the discussion board area all semester long, where questions that might benefit all class can be asked. And if you have other questions that are more personal in nature, please feel free to email me. You notice that on the syllabus I also provide my cell phone number. I do text as well as email, and those are my preferred methods for communication. So I look forward to working with you. I know not everyone loves American literature the way I do, and I respect that, but I really hope that by the time you finish this course, you'll come away with a greater understanding and appreciation for its importance, and maybe even like it a little more. All right, have a great day, and we will be talking.